Hi folks, Dino Bob here in California Paleopark. This is episode 8 where I'm adding Torvosaurus, the first carnivorous dinosaur in the park. Uh, it's not a small one, uh, but it is also another Morrison animal. So we're starting here at the Jurassic Overlook, staring at the entrance to that overlook and turning to our left and seeing the viewing area for the Torvosaurus. Uh, Ahead of us, you can see the sign that featured in the title card. This time it doesn't have a Torvosaurus mimicking it. We're going to go look around at how we get up there. There's stairs and the switchback for wheelchair users. But we're going to go up the stairs. You see the warning signs because our guests can get perhaps a little too close to the animals. In fact, there's one right there. Maybe we can get a better look at him. He's having a drink. Had something to say about it too. And that's a better look at the switchback there on the right with the ramps for guests to get up to the more elevated sections of the habitat. We're going to go into the covered area with some seating, binoculars, and of course the ever-present donation boxes. The feeding pan for the Torvosaurus is up, easily visible from here. In the back you can see a care building, which we're going to have a speed build for in a little bit, and some of the park's facilities beyond them. And the traditional zoom out to give you an idea of the layout. Unlike the last one, this is no square, which can be a rectangle, but it's not got corners all over the place. So there it is. And we're going to take a look at that care building there as we go into the speed build. I started out bringing one of the Torvosaurs around to check the size of the opening. I wanted to make sure they'd go through it. The idea here is these tight-spaced wooden poles face the building so that it doesn't look too out of place in the habitat on the sides that are facing the public. And much cheaper concrete block construction for the other sides that face the back side of the house or the backstage area, depending on which form you like. Set a set of windows on that side, so there's a chance for natural light for the care team. I thought that straight stretch just was a little too unbroken, so I added the pillars, and that made me think, well, I should have some pillars inside as well to help support the roof. So dropped that and also put some on the far side to support that side, but didn't want them showing, so pulled them inside the wooden facing for the building. I decided to divide it into two. It's not uncommon in zoos to separate male and female carnivores except during mating attempts. And they may well share the same habitat to get their exercise and enrichment in. So in theory, one of the animals could be kept in holding in the building while the other one gets to be out on exhibit. The wide doors on either end would, did I do on either end? No, I only did them on one end. The end we're looking at now is to bring animals in and out and or heavy equipment that's needed to deal with them. This took a lot of fiddling with the fences. I had to change them several times to get them working the way I wanted them to be working. And so the exhibit number is crazy high because every time those fences connect up and make a habitat, it counts as one. And you break that at all, it'll be a different number when you come back. If the devs ever get around to actually letting us name the habitats, I hope we don't have to rename them every time, but we probably will. It's just easier to code that way, I guess, or something. So we've got a green roof on a large part of this building. Part of that is to be kind of eco-conscious, but part of it is also, again, as the sticks were, to blend this building into the habitat a bit more so it doesn't bother our guests quite so much seeing the building there in a very naturalistic looking environment. There seems to be a little glitch in the edgings. They don't seem to blend right with the actual roof pieces. That's why I did that slight adjustment to make that what looks to be like a little bit of a white line go away, because I didn't like that. Glass roof so that our animals can get some natural light during their stays in the building, and also some of that natural light can be there for the keepers while they go about their business. There's no reason for our animals not to hear each other, because they certainly would, but we want to minimize the exposure of each to the other. I had to do a lot of fiddling with these separating panels, with the painted cinder block, and getting them lined up with the metal pieces of the glass roof. Things like, as you can see, that fence showing on the side of the wall is a thing I have to deal with. And when you're putting them in, while getting the respect structures clicked off can help on one side of the building, you can see how it doesn't do it on the wall that has a fence inside of it, because the fences, they demand respect. They refuse to have terrain messed with where they're sitting. So I had to take that fence out, which particularly with the habitat barriers, making it hard to see exactly, to get in there and take off everything so I can get that the ground flat where the door or wall is, and then redo it again to get the habitat back to being a habitat, and try and get that fence that was bothersomely showing, like it is right there, more congenially placed one way or another to work well with the building. So I was, as I often do, making this up as I go along and changing my mind. So those gray pillars got to be painted cinder block to match with the support walls that run across the narrow dimension of the building. I wanted to put something to both support the cinder blocks over the arches, and also to imply that there would be some way to close these areas off in case of an emergency. I didn't actually build anything that would look like it would do that, but sometimes it's just easier not to do that so your staff can deal with it by going in and out and not having to mess with that kind of stuff. Using the same structure to set up the entry area for the sort of garage door entrance area, and get it to match stylistically with those separators. And this time I did decide to close that one up because they still have the people-sized door to get into this building. I forget where I put the gate. There's one gate, I think, outside just to the right here. And that gets them into the habitat. And I don't think I forced them to go into the building to do that. Every once in a while that produces issues with what the staff will do with regard to the building. And I just didn't want to deal with it at this point because I was having more than enough problems with our guests and their happiness during this phase of the building. And you can see I managed to misalign the center of the building and had to fix that too. And very fussy building, as it turns out. A large part of that is, of course, due to the fact that I was making it up as I went along and discovering problems with some of the things I did early on that weren't quite the way they should be. And then it was cleanup time once the hay beds got in for the animals, to get the plants that were going through the walls to not go through the walls. I did not put cinder blocks on the inside of the wooden poles because I wanted to save piece count for this building. It's not going to be seen that often. And then I wanted to get tracks out of the building to make it clear the animals were using it and disturbing the earth pretty regularly there. Anyway, that was the idea on the building, and that's pretty much all I've got on video for this, other than putting in a sandy surface for our animals on the inside. Make it more comfortable for them and easier to clean, and it's animal video time, as it so often is in these YouTube videos. The Torvosauruses certainly believe this is their domain. You can see this one surveying it all. Doesn't have anything to say about it just yet. There we go. Hiding in the bushes while he's letting us know who's the boss. Once again, you can see the sun's going down again while I'm doing this. Days are short in Prehistoric Kingdom. And it's lunchtime for this Torvosaur. It's apparently shaking the camera while he grabs chunks of meat off the tray, excuse me. And, well, you know, I guess it would be kind of scary watching all that meat disappear inside the Torvosaurus so quickly. Anyway, off he goes, and we'll cut shortly to another. And another time, of course, so we have a better look at our animals. This, I think, is the male. Roar. And hope he doesn't drown out the words. Well, he's got a scent of something there. Trying to figure out where it's coming from. The Torvosaurus does this thing with widening extents, which I don't remember seeing with the other carnivores. Maybe it's just part of making him his own thing. I don't know. Not my department. So, drink time or waiting time? Drink time. He really likes sticking his head underwater to do that. That may or may not be a real behavioral thing. Could be. They did apparently have moderately mobile tongues, but not really all that good for lapping up water, I would suspect. And we've got, I think, one more clip for the last bit, and then we'll be done for the video this week. If you've been enjoying the series and haven't already subscribed, feel free to do so. It encourages me to keep doing these things. And if you like this particular video or had a comment to make on it, good or bad, please leave them. All that interaction sometimes helps keep up the enthusiasm for doing this stuff through the frustrations of unhappy guests and problematic pieces. Anyway, that's it for this week. You all be kind to each other out there and stay safe. I hope to see you next week for another video, and I hope you've been enjoying your holidays and holidays to come. Bye now.